Childhood's a pretty disturbing thing whenever you think about it. I mean, whenever you're a kid and you don't really have a sense of reality, anything is possible. You believe in monsters under the bed, monsters in the closet, there's so many scary things that you just don't understand don't exist. So I'm gonna tell you a story that actually used to keep me awake at night. So the story follows a kid named Danny Robinson, and he was about 10 years old whenever this story happened. Ever since Danny was around 2 years old, his mom would wake up in the middle of the night to find him sleeping on the couch or in different places where he hadn't gone to sleep before. Whenever she woke him up, he would always tell her about the monster that was in his closet. And Danny was terrified of his room because of the monster in his closet.
Love you, honey.
This happened so often that the kids at school actually found out about it. And of course, kids can be cruel, so they bullied Danny relentlessly. And the leader of the pack of bullies happened to be Danny's older brother, Brian. So that means every day, not only while he was at school, he would have to put up with bullying, but the bullies would even follow him home. One day, Danny decided that he had enough of the bullies. So he grabbed a baseball bat and walked out to his front yard, saying that he would take on every single one of them. Danny being outnumbered, they easily took away the baseball bat from him and carried him upstairs to his room. And they of course were making fun of him, they were laughing about the closet, they were going through his closet,
Hey Danny, is that the closet? Is that where the monster lives?
Then somebody got the amazing idea of locking Danny in the closet that he was afraid of. Now, Danny, in an act of protest, he yelled out at his brother that if he was so brave, how about his brother went into the closet? And his brother decided, okay, I'll go in there, but once I come out, you're next. So Brian goes inside of the closet, and they shut the door behind him. They're all laughing, having a good time, because Brian's inside screaming.
You're next.
Very funny, Brian.
And they all assume that Brian's in there screaming as like a joke just to make fun of Danny. He's yelling, there's something in here, get me out of here. This goes on until their mom gets home and hears all of the commotion coming on from upstairs. She walks in there, she opens up the closet to find it empty. Brian had completely vanished into thin air. And all that was left of him were just a pile of his clothes.
What's this?
That's Brian's shirt.
Where'd he go?
Who?
Brian, he went into the closet.
He's gone.
I told you there was a monster in there.
Now everybody's confused, nobody knows where Brian went. They call the cops come in, they completely empty the closet looking for trapdoors or crawl spaces, any way that Brian could have escaped the closet without anybody seeing him. And they found nothing. I mean, the cops came out and said that there was no way that Brian escaped that closet without coming through the front door.
It's really weird. The kid just seems to have vanished into thin air.
Well, what do you want me to write in the report? That the kid was eaten by a monster?
Brian was just labeled as a missing person. Another missing kid that just decided to run away from home one day. Nobody's ever seen him since. Now that's just an urban legend, isn't it? You would hope so, but according to Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction, this actually happened.
Could the idea for a story like this have come from a real-life event? Yes, it did.
And honestly, I kind of blame that show for getting me interested in horror and conspiracy theories and stuff like that, because that show, honestly, it would come on like a Sunday morning on like this weird channel. I remember me and my brother watching it, and there was a couple of really good stories on there that maybe I'll retell on here at some point, maybe try to modernize it a little bit. But according to that show, that story actually happened. Guys, I am so sorry for disappearing again. I really, really wish I could tell you why, but things are just so crazy that I don't think you would believe me if I told you. So maybe one day I'll come on here and explain the situation, but there's just so much involved. There's so much that I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about. But don't worry about me, I'm fine. And as always, guys, be nice to each other.